What does it mean to be a Filipino? Is it the password we carry? The language we speak? The food we grew up eating? Is it our family, our faith, our hometown, or the tradition passed down to us? Or is being Filipino something we carry inside us whenever we go? Being Filipino can begin with something as simple as being born in the Philippines. But identity is rarely that simple. A Filipino can grow up in Manila, in a small provincial town, on an island far from the capital, or thousands of kilometers away from the Philippines. Some Filipinos speak Tagalog, others speak Cebuano, Ilocano, Hiligaynon, Waray, Kapampangan, Maranao, Tausug, and many other Philippine languages. Some grew up surrounded by Filipino traditions. Others discovered their Filipino identity through their parents, grandparents, food, stories, and memories. And yet, they may all proudly say, I am Filipino. The Philippines has never been a story about just one kind of Filipino. We are a collection of communities shaped by different landscape, histories, languages, and experiences. Someone growing up in the mountains may experience the Philippines very differently from someone growing up in a major city. A fisherman may see the sea differently from a farmer. A child growing up in Mindanao may have traditions very different from someone growing up in Luzon. And a Filipino born abroad may experience their identity differently from someone who has spent their entire life in the Philippines. These differences do not necessarily make us less Filipino. For many Filipinos, identity begins at home. It can be found in the voice of a parent calling you to eat, in grandparents telling stories about the past, in siblings teasing one another, in relatives gathering around one table, and the words ate, kuya, nanay, tatay, lola, and lolo. Family is more than a relationship. For many Filipinos, it is a source of identity, responsibility, support, and belonging. And sometimes, even when Filipino families are separated by oceans, that connections remains.
Salamat ka oras ni ko.
Language is another part of the Filipino story. The Philippines is a home of many languages. And sometimes, the language we speak tells people where we came from. It can tell them about our family, our hometown, or the community where we grew up. Filipino and English may be common in national life, but the Philippines is far more linguistically diverse than many people realize. And sometimes, being Filipino means knowing that one word can carry a memory. A word your grandmother used, a word you heard growing up, a word that immediately takes you home. Then there is food. Ask a Filipino what food reminds them of home, and you may get a very different answer. Adobo, sinigang, kare-kare, lechon, tinola, pancit, or perhaps a simple dish that only their family makes. Filipino food is not just about taste. It can be memory, it can be family, it can be childhood, it can be a celebration. And for Filipinos living far from home, one's familiar taste can sometimes bring an entire place back to life. Being Filipino can also mean carrying traditions forward. Some traditions are centuries old, others are much newer. Some are practiced across the country. Others are belong to a particular region, community, or family. We celebrate festivals. We gather during Christmas. We honor our elders. We celebrate milestones together. and we pass stories from one generation to another. But traditions do not stay exactly the same. They change as people change, and that is part of culture too. Perhaps, one of the most powerful parts of Filipino identity is how far it can travel. Filipino families live in cities around the world. They build careers, they raise children, they create communities, and many continue to carry pieces of the Philippines with them. A language, a recipe, a song, a family tradition, a photograph, a memory. Sometimes, being Filipino means missing home. And sometimes, it means creating a new home while still carrying the old one in your heart. So, what does it really mean to be a Filipino? Maybe there is no single answer. It can mean knowing where you came from. It can mean remembering the people who raised you. It can mean speaking a language your grandparents taught you. It can mean cooking the food you grew up with. It can mean protecting traditions. It can also mean creating new ones. And sometimes, it simply means carrying a sense of home wherever life takes you. We are not all the same. We do not speak the same language. We do not live in the same place. We do not share exactly the same tradition or experiences. But perhaps that is the beauty of being Filipino. We are many stories, many communities, many journeys. Yet somehow, we continue to find the connection. Because being Filipino isn't only about where you came from. Sometimes, it's about what you carry with you. Your family, your memories, your culture, your people, your home. That is part of what it means to be Filipino. What does being Filipino mean to you? Tell us your story in the comments. And if you want to discover more stories about the Philippines and its people, subscribe and join us on this journey.